Welcome back to Great Day Houston. All right, the winners of the Rodeo's World Champion Wine Competition went on the auction block last night. The Grand Champion sold for $300,000 and the Reserve Grand Champion broke a record with $285,000, and now over 75 top choices will be featured in the wine garden throughout Rodeo. You can sip, swirl, and support student scholarships. Ryan Levy has been on both ends of that cause as a Rodeo Scholarship winner and as a champion winemaker with Nice Winery. He joins us along with Chris Johnson with the Rodeo Wine Sales Committee. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Howdy. That's right. A good hearty howdy is what you got here. All right, Chris, let's start with kind of how this all came about. A lot of committees have formed over the years when someone had an idea. And I remember when this was swirling around, and probably over a glass of wine, and people were saying, why don't we make wine and a wine committee part of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo?
That's right. Nobody thought it would work, but here we are 23 years later. It's been one of our best attractions here at the rodeo. We're here in the wine garden. This place is going to be packed later. And last night our wine auction raised $3.4 million for the youth of Texas.
That is crazy. All right, as I mentioned, you know, we had the Grand Champion at $300,000 and the Reserve Grand Champion at $285,000. People sometimes misunderstand what we're talking about. They go, who would pay that much for a bottle of wine? We're paying for a whole lot more than just a bottle of wine.
We're making a dent in our educational commitment, which for the 2026 show year is $30 million. So what we're about is the youth of Texas and paying it forward. So last night was a big start towards our educational commitment for the 2026 show year.
Yeah, and of course this wine garden came about as a way for people to get a chance to actually enjoy those wines.
That's right. 3,000 wines entered our competition. 13 top award winners, and all of our gold award-winning wines will be served throughout the show right here in the Champion Wine Garden.
And let me make sure people understand, this is a very curated, juried wine competition. People come in from around the world.
That's right. 3,000 entries from all over the United States and around the world. Came through a panel of 100 judges.
All right. You have educational seminars that take place. You have all kinds of other things besides just sipping and swirling.
That's right. Throughout the show, you'll be able to come and have a seminar, learn about wine, learn about food pairings. Ryan's going to do one, I think, involving tacos. So it's going to be a great opportunity to come out, learn about these wines, and connect to agriculture.
Yeah. All right. Ryan, as I mentioned, you're on both ends of this. I know you've shared your story before, but I just think it's such a perfect example of what can happen when someone has that scholarship. You went to, was it Dulles High School?
I went to Dulles High School,
yeah.
And thanks to the generosity of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, I was able to attend my dream school, Rice University.
Yeah. And the thing is, you didn't have to raise an animal. That's another thing. A lot of people think that the only way to get a scholarship through Rodeo is by raising animals. There are several opportunities. We'll talk about one in art in a little bit. But you were an academic scholarship?
Right, academic and merit-based and also need-based.
Okay, and so you went to Rice and did your thing, and then you went to law school.
I did.
And where'd you go to law school again?
I went to the University of Texas for law school.
Yeah, there you go,
right?
to my Aggie producers over there. All right, yeah, and then you were practicing law, and you didn't have the passion behind it.
Yeah, I love food, I love wine, and I studied in France at Le Cordon Bleu, and I really got bit by the wine bug while I was living over there. Came back to Houston, planted the very first vineyard inside the city limits of the city of Houston, and had no idea that it would grow to become what it is now. And this year we won top all-around winery for the third year in a row.
Yes, and you've won other awards as well. Okay, so let me back up to something when you said, yeah, didn't like the law thing, and so went to France, lived there, came back, and then decided that you were going to go into wine. How did that conversation go with your parents?
Yeah, my parents are my biggest cheerleaders, but they thought I was absolutely insane. And most of our wine club members, when we planted that first vineyard at the corner of Westview Drive and Lumpkin Road, they're like, what? This is insane.
Yeah, because I remember I drove by and I went, there's a winery like right inside of Houston by the Beltway and I-10, and there is. And to explain to people, your wines aren't produced off of the grapes that you grow there. Your wines are produced several places, right?
Yeah, so we've got 4 Texas vineyards, 7 vineyards in California, 2 vineyards in Washington State, 2 vineyards down in Argentina. But our Texas wine this year won class champion.
That is super cool because
yeah.
For a long time, we thought that the wines had to be in some other country in order to be viable, but then of course California always had a good wine country as well. But anywhere you can grow a grape and nurture that grape, you can get a wine out of it.
That's right. You just got to grow the right grape.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
So people can see how it happens in action at Nice Winery because they do have those grapes there. You have chickens roaming around because you don't use the pesticides.
We're organic.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's right.
Grow our own vegetables, do wine dinners, and so this Thursday and Friday we're doing 2 wine dinners to celebrate the champions at the rodeo. So you get to drink all the big winners.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's still tickets available, so
And
hopefully I'll get to see you on
Yeah,
Friday.
oh, I'll be there on Friday. Yeah, I'll be there on Friday. But even the education in terms of how wines are made, there are wines that are made for the mass market that get shipped across the country, if not around the world, and that we understand that. But then there are wines that are made in different ways as well.
Yeah, we love wines made by families, not by factories. And so there's a real great chance, too, here at Rodeo to come to a seminar and then learn about the differences between mass-produced wines and wines made by a family in small batches, organic or sustainably farmed. It's better for us, better for farming as well.
Yeah.
I brought one of those wines for us to
I think
drink.
we should taste one of those wines.
Absolutely.
And then what goes with what? All right, Chris, we were talking earlier about, I'm going to have you hand him that, and then you handle the pour. You handle the pour there. We were talking earlier about, there's like about 36,000 volunteers that are parts of so many different committees. A lot of people, I hear them say, I want to be part of the wine committee. Make no mistake about it, if you're part of the wine committee, you are also going to work. But what kinds of people are you looking for to volunteer, and what types of different parts of the committee could they serve on?
Well, mine is the wine sales committee, and so our job is raising awareness and getting people to come participate. What you need to have is a passion for wine and interest in agriculture, and a commitment to the youth of Texas and wanting to do the best you can to get people out here and spending their dollars to support this cause.
Yeah, so there are people who are part of sales, but there are also people who will be attending the store, if you will, tonight here working in the wine garden, right?
That's right. The wine garden has 1,000 volunteers that are going to be here serving wine throughout the show.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what do you have to say to anybody who is thinking about becoming a volunteer but hasn't quite decided to do that yet? What do you get out of it? We volunteer oftentimes thinking that we're always helping someone else, and we are. We're helping the whole cause, right? But we also get a lot out of it ourselves.
Oh my gosh. It's a great time being a volunteer at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Great people, great teams to be a part of. It's something that I think everybody should experience, because there's no better place in Houston to have a great time and meet great people.
Yeah, all right. And Ryan, in closing, for those people who support the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, this is what we can get on the other end. Obviously, as smart as you are, you could have done anything, but went to Rice, as you said, went to law school, became a lawyer, but decided that this was your passion. So two things. For parents who have kids who come home and say, I know you'd like me to do this, but my passion is here, right? What do you have?
Follow your dreams. And if winning a scholarship from the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo taught me one thing, is that you've got an amazing community behind you, supporting you. 35,000 volunteers here at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo raised money for this kid from Missouri City, Texas to follow his dream. And I'm living it now right here with you.
And now you're helping other kids to achieve their dreams as well. I say that we toast to that. Cheers.
Cheers.
By the way, what is this? This is so good.
So this is our proprietary red. It's being poured in the wine garden today throughout the show. Look for it on the chairman's list. You can get a bottle, and every single dollar of proceeds goes back to funding scholarships for young Texans to go to college.
See, that's the reason why I do it. What time is it, Ralph? What time do we have right there on their phone? What does it say?
It's 9.
It's 9 something. Okay, basically it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's right.
All right, baby, step around there and let's take a look at the buckle that you have. That's a special buckle that you have.
Yeah, this is this year's Top All Around Winery championship belt buckle.
Yeah, and you have tons of those belt buckles in your winery. And by the way, always at the winery also are your parents who are there smiling and so proud of you, and we're proud of you as well. Thank you all very, very much. And to learn more about the Champion Wine Garden and Nice Winery and all the wines that you can taste, go to rodeohouston.com and greatdayhouston.com for Nice Winery.